coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LABB, who we running with. Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again.
Hello guys, welcome to the elospeaks podcast. Thank you for watching or listening wherever you are listening right now, whether it's on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to listen to my podcast. Alright, so let's get into it. So I wanted to talk about three particular topics with sub-topics in between them. The first thing I want to talk about is the NFL Super Bowl prediction on who's going to win between the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game. Also, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers and what will Tom Brady do this season. So let's get into it. So right now, we all seen what happened last week. A great divisional football game round between the 4 teams that were left and the 8 teams that were left, excuse me. And now we're down to just 4 teams left. And right now we're down to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Rams. Now granted, when I was watching the Chiefs and Bills game, man, that was explosive. The last 2 minutes, I was on the edge of my seat, excited. And you can also say about the Rams and the Bucks game, I thought Tom Brady was almost about to pull off the upset again, like he did against the Atlanta Falcons. But the Rams persevered and they moved forward to the next round by beating the Tom Brady and the Bucks. So let's get to it. So as regards to the playoffs, I think my prediction to who's going to win is, let's start with the NFC Championship game. The NFC Championship game is going to be a bitter rivalry in the NFC West between the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, from top to bottoms, the Rams have the better roster, but I can't count out the 49ers just yet because they're like a dark horse right now that's like running through everything. I didn't think they was going to get this far. I thought I would see them probably get out maybe in the first or second round, but for them to make it this far to face the Rams in the NFC Championship game is impressive on their part, so I can't count them out just yet. But if you go overall top to bottom from the roster, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defense, for the most part, the Rams have the better players. Now, San Francisco do have some best players, but what it comes down to is quarterback play. And I personally think that Matthew Stafford is better at his quarterback play than Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I could be wrong because last week I made a lot of wrong predictions on who I thought was going to win. I thought the Titans was going to win. I thought the Bills was going to win. I thought a lot of teams were going to win, etc. But for this one, I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams. In this one, they're going to be playing on Sunday at SoFi Stadium. So the Rams will have home field advantage. So that's going to be another advantage for them to take part in as they go against the Rams. It's going to be a third time that they meet. So who knows what could happen, especially with divisional rivals. Anything could happen. I wouldn't be surprised if the San Francisco 49ers pulled off the upset, but I think it's safe to say that the Rams will win this game. The score I have the Rams winning 26, and I have the San Francisco scoring 23. I think it ends off the field goal with the Rams winning and potentially Matthew Stafford going to his first ever Super Bowl. And the fact that he's been playing with that horrible, moribund franchise in Detroit for all his life, and for him to finally break through and make it, this will be a great achievement for him just to make it and go to the Super Bowl. So it'll be a good achievement on his part. All right. So the next game that we have is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now this right here, the Cincinnati Bengals have been a dark horse. I'm happy for Joe Burrow. I really like Joe Burrow as a player. I think he's a great football team. I think he's a great leader. I've been watching him since LSU, and he shows a lot of potential. I didn't think they was going to get this far. I thought it was going to take a couple of years for him to develop and carry his team into the future. But the strides that he's making so far, I'm very happy in his progress and hope the best for him moving forward. Now, beating the Kansas City Chiefs is not tall task. It's going to be really tough. Cincinnati Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines in the playoffs right now. Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times during the Titans game, so that's going to be real tough. Now, I'm not saying like the Kansas City Chiefs defense are juggernauts or anything like that, but still, if you can't protect the quarterback and you're putting him in compromising positions where he's getting sacked, potentially fumbling or making a bad throw, he could throw an interception, that could be bad for the Cincinnati Bengals to move forward. And if you turn over the ball or give Kansas City Chief offensive more possessions on the field, they will blow you out by 20 points. So you have to take that in mind when scheming for this team. The best thing to do for them is to take the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand, keep him on the field, put your offense there, try to run the ball, try to win the time of possession. That's what I think they should do. Because if you give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, he's going to make magic. And when he makes magic, anything's possible with him. So the best thing to do for the Cincinnati Bengals is time of possession, run the ball, make smart plays, don't turn over the ball, and just keep Kansas City on their heels. Just try to be in lead with them, because if Kansas City starts getting like going, is a wrap. I do have the San Francisco 49ers. My apologies. I do have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game, but with the strides that the Cincinnati Bengals have been making so far, I can see them possibly being a competition for them, keeping the game close. So I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning 35 and the Cincinnati Bengals 27. All right. So, and the next side topic as regards to that. Now, we all saw the choke job that Aaron Rodgers did at Lambeau Field against the 49ers. I was heavily disappointed because I picked the Packers to win. They was having a great season. I also picked Aaron Rodgers as the MVP of the season, and for him to go down like that was really disappointing on his part. And now that his contract is up, rumors have been swirling about as regards to what he's going to do. What is he going to stay in Lambeau? Is he going to go to another team? What decisions he's going to be making? He did give after game interview. He was very coy, very nonchalant. Didn't really give too much answers, and I expect that from him. So because we don't know what he's going to do. To me, to be honest, I think he should leave Green Bay. That's my personal opinion. I heard people ballyhooing about him going to Denver. That could possibly be an option for him, but going up against Patrick Mahomes and other QBs in that division is going to be tough. I understand that Denver Broncos have a great defense and just need a quarterback that could change around their franchise. And Aaron Rodgers can be the guy for that job, but he has to be smart in what he might be getting himself into as regards to that. So he has the power in his hand to do that. It was a great ride in Lambeau, but I just don't feel like they're putting the right pieces around him for him to win. I don't see it. I feel like they want to move on from Aaron Rodgers, but they want to know that there's nothing left from Aaron Rodgers so they can feel comfortable moving on from him, because if there's a lot more gas in the tank for Aaron Rodgers to continue playing for an extended amount of time, and he goes to another team and end up winning another Super Bowl or possibly MVPs, then it's going to look bad on the Packers, because that they let a, a Hall of Fame QB walk out the door for literally nothing, and the fans of Lambeau are going to be pissed off about that. So They got to be mindful and careful. If I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm doing everything in my power to try to keep Aaron Rodgers. I understand he's a diva. I understand that he has a preconceived notion about himself. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. I understand all that, but he's a once in a generation talent, and unfortunately, you have to make exceptions for exceptional people. And Aaron Rodgers is an exceptional quarterback where you have to make those type of sacrifices for him and get him what he wants because we still don't know anything about Love, what he could do, and we see him play when he was on the field that one game, and I wasn't impressed by it. Now, granted, I'm not saying I wanted a 500 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception game, but it's gonna take him a little bit of time to get his feet wet and try to take over the team as the new person that's gonna be playing for the Green Bay Packers. But that's all if Aaron Rodgers decides to leave. But I think he's gonna exercise his options, see what's on the table, see what's best for him, see what's not best for him. I think he should leave Green Bay Packers. I don't see the point of him staying there anymore. If he wants to stay there just for the love of the team, the fans, and be playing there your whole career, that's great. But so far, we've seen other great quarterbacks such as Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, etc., leave to go to greener pastures, and they end up winning Super Bowls because of it. So that could possibly be, Aaron Rodgers' future moving forward. So that that's always on the mind of other people because you already seen Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. We also seen Tom Brady in his first year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win, and so far, he's still playing there, and even though they lost against the Rams, but they're still in a position where they could have a chance to win for a couple of more seasons. So that's always good for them. So Aaron Rodgers could possibly go to a playoff contending team that needs a quarterback. Who knows? Maybe he could go to the Tennessee Titans. They could probably trade Ryan Tannehill for picks, and he could have a great running back as King Henry in the backfield. Or again, he could go to Denver. So those are the options that's for Aaron Rodgers right now in terms of what he wants to do. So because I know that in staying with Green Bay Packers, I personally don't see him winning another Super Bowl. He could probably make it to possibly NFC title games. I don't see him winning those. But in terms of winning multiple Super Bowls, I just don't see it. Because in terms of the roster that they put around him, they put a decent roster around him, but his defense is always not there to keep him up. Even though he had a bad game against the 49ers, the 49ers has always had Green Bay Packers numbers for some reason. I don't know why. Whether it's at home, on the road, etc., they just have their number. But it happens over and over and over and over and over for Aaron Rodgers where it's time for him to step up, make the next leap, and be great and be seen as one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. He's just not there on that caliber of a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, et cetera, and all. Because he's just not making it to the championship game. And unfortunately, I don't want to compare Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers, but we've seen Tom Brady make it to championship game, NFC championship game, Super Bowls, time after time after time. So it's always been like that. But again, that's an unfair comparison. But I just wanted to show a dichotomy between the two and what we expect of Aaron Rodgers because he's a great quarterback. All right, so that's enough of that. On the next topic I wanted to get into was this. This one's going to be real quick. I wanted to get into Tom Brady. Speaking of him, so the Tom Brady and the Bucks had lost to the LA Rams after nearly putting off a comeback. So another thing I wanted to get into is that will Tom Brady retire this season? And I think we all know the answer to that is no. I'm pretty sure he's at home right now, even eating his avocado ice cream, looking at game tape instead of seeing what he did wrong. And he's gonna come back next season more hungry, more ferocious, more with more hunger, more fury. It's gonna light up a fire under him where he's gonna want to pursue more. I remember him joking that you know him and Gronkowski joking that he could play to 50. I'm I'm starting to think that's not really a joke. Even at his current age, he's like 44 right now, but still, I see him playing a couple more years. He's gonna try to see if he can win as much Super Bowl as he can. One thing I don't particularly like Brady, it's not that I don't like him as a person or anything like that. He's probably a great person. I just hate him as a competitor. I just want to like beat him. That's just me personal. I just like as a competitor, I want to beat him. But one thing I do like about Brady is he doesn't let people tell him when to hang it up. He's gonna decide when he's time for him to hang it up. He's not gonna let his wife, the fans, the media, people like myself tell him to hang it up. He's going to decide when he's hanging up, and he's going to continue to reach new heights, even though he's already reached higher heights than most people would ever dream of in their lifetime. So for him to continue striving to be better, win as much Super Bowls as he can, I admire that. But damn, he's trying to really trying to shatter that greatest quarterback of all time out the door. People already seen him as the best quarterback of all time when he won his fifth Super Bowl. Then on top of that, when he won his sixth Super Bowl, it just like elevated him to the next level. And then when he won his seventh Super Bowl with Tampa Bay in his first year at a home Super Bowl game, that put him in a stratosphere of like his own. He's in a league of his own where nobody can match him at all. Like if anybody ever picture comparing him to Tom Brady is gonna be blasphemy. That is gonna be like Jordan, how nobody's gonna be matched with Jordan. I understand that there's talks with LeBron James, but nobody takes those talks seriously because we already know those are media generated narratives routine the GOAT conversation with Tom Brady, with LeBron James and Michael Jordan, but nobody's going to mention any quarterback with Tom Brady. Now, there's going to be a couple of old heads that's still going to say that Joe Montana is still the greatest quarterback of all time because of his greatness and winning four Super Bowls, no interceptions, being undefeated, etc. And you could have that argument, but it's going to be hard to do that with a quarterback who went to 10 Super Bowls and won 7 of them. So that's obviously Tom Brady's not gonna retire. And most people know that. His wife know that, he knows that, the fans know that, everyone knows that. But it's gonna be a tough outing. How it's looking like they're gonna have to drag him off the field for him to retire. But you could tell he hit like this is what he loves to do. He just wants to play football and he wants to be the best that he can be. And he wants to keep shattering expectations. Every new goal that he has, he wants to shatter expectations and be the best that he can be. Nobody in their mind could thought that a quarterback could win 7 Super Bowls. So he's continuing breaking the wall, creating new expectations for himself and everyone else that's possibly watching him play. So I commend him for that, even though I hate Tom Brady, but it is what it is. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. He's continued doing great things. He's breaking records every season that he's played. Um, he did have some craziness going on with his team. He had injuries, but I'm not going to give him that excuse because every team is dealing with injuries. And the craziness I'm talking about is obviously the Antonio Brown situation, but that's what you get with Antonio Brown, to be honest. Like, that he's a live wire. That you don't know what you're gonna get out of him. You wanted him on your team, so you got to deal with all the good and the bad that comes with him. So that's it with that. So I do see a Tom Brady coming back for a couple more seasons. I don't know how long he's going to play, but he's going to try to play as long as he can. And good luck to him. And I wish him the best in terms of his future endeavors playing football. All right, and that's all I have for as regards to the NFL topic. So when I get into the next topic, sit back, we'll be on a break.